Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We've got another little hover effect for you today. We've got three little images here. They've got a stripe and a title over the top. When we hover over, that's going to disappear just to reveal the image. And we've done the same over here. Now that little overlay gradient right there, really easy to do. We're using a bit of custom CSS for this today. Don't let that put you off. Any CSS I write, I'll put down below the video and you're welcome to use it. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder. Once enabled, let's go down to where we want to work. And I'm going to add a new row. Little green button to add a row. I'm going to put 3 columns in there. And I'm going to use an image module. And this will work for just about any module you like. Divi comes as standard with all the light grey modules here. Plenty enough to build just about any site. The one I'm looking for today is a standard image module. First thing it's going to prompt us to do is add the image. I'm going to pop in that little sunrise picture. Okay, and if we go down, there's the opportunity to either put a link in if you want to take your visitors somewhere when they click on it, or open in a lightbox if you want it to pop out into a larger image. I'm going to leave it on lightbox. For the background, don't need anything, and I'm not going to put in an admin label. Design wise, again, I'm going to leave it on top right there, and we're going to write a bit of custom code now, and we're going to put in that diagonal stripe first thing. So if we go over to our advanced, to our custom CSS, just roll this up a little bit. First thing we're going to do in the before is actually create the stripe itself. And don't forget, I've put this CSS down below so you don't have to copy it in real time if you don't want to. So it's content. Open, close some inverted commas just to tell it that's where something should be, even though we're not putting anything in there. And a little semicolon on the end there. Now, we want this to be in the same place all the time, and we want to say position absolute because we want it to stay exactly where it is. Now where do we want it? We want it at the top left to start, so I'm going to put top 0, and left we want it to go sort of halfway across the page, so let's say left 50%. I should say it wants to go halfway across the column, not the page. So let's put in the gradient. We've got to say background, image. Then what do we want? We want a linear gradient. And open some round brackets, and we'll put in the properties for it. Well, I want it to be left to right, so I'm going to say 120 degrees. So the colors start on the left and end on the right. And I'm just going to put in the colors red and blue. And we'll just close that out with a semicolon. So let's give it a width and a height now. I want it to be sort of 75% of the width. And I want it to have a height of 100%. And there you can see it's just started to appear in on the right hand side there. Okay, well let's skew it now. We'll turn it with transform, skew, and let's skew it by about 15 degrees. And then we want to translate the X by minus 50%. Now we want to make sure that it's in front of our image, so let's give it a Z index. Let's try 99. There it is, it's on top of our image there, perfect. And I want to be able to see some of the image behind it, so I'm going to say opacity or transparency or see-throughness 0.7. There we go, we can see the picture through it now nicely. So we just got to add our little title, and to do that we're going to do the same as we did in a previous video to add that to the top. We're going to use the after to do that. So we've got to say content again, let it know that there's going to be some content there. And then open and close some inverted commas, and inside we can put what we want the text to say. I'm using capital letters for this today. And we want to put a little semicolon, move down to the next line of code. Again, we want it absolutely positioned, so it stays where it is. I want to make it white in color, or whatever color stands out to you. Now where do we want it? I want it sort of halfway top and left. So we're going to say top 50% and left 50%. And you can see it in there vaguely. It's just behind our little gradient right there. We'll put it in the front in a moment. And we want to make sure it's in the middle, so we've got to transform translate by -50%. And we want it -50% by -50%. There we go. And I want it to be a bit bigger. Let's bring it in front first. So I'll give it a Z index that's higher than our little gradient of 99 at the top there. So let's say Z index. Let's make it 111. Should pop it on top. There we go, it's on top now, fantastic. And I want to make it just a little bit bigger, say a font size of 20 pixels. That's great, well that's working perfectly here. But when we actually hover over it, I want it to disappear. So I want to see that initially when we hover over. I want to lose the title and the stripe there. So what we can do, and this is common to most Divi modules, we hover over up the dark writing here, you'll see some icons appear. If there's an arrow there, we can set desktop state when your mouse is not on it, which is what we want to see there, and a hover state. When we hover over it, I don't want to see a thing. So remember, we're in the before here. So I'm going to say opacity 0. That's got rid of the stripe, and we need to do exactly the same thing for the text, which is in our after down below here. So again, hit the little arrow, go to the hover state, opacity 0, all gone, fantastic. Back to desktop, and we're back again. Now that's going to happen instantly when they put their mouse on it. If we want to slow it down a bit, I quite like to slow these down for drama and a bit of effect. In the regular state, not in the hover state, in the regular state, we want to just add the line of code transition duration. And let's give it a second. So I'm going to say 1s. And you can increment in 0.5 second, 0.2 second, whatever you want in there. But I'm going to put a whole second in there. Now we want this in the before as well. So what I'm going to do, make sure you're on the desktop state again. And we'll just paste that transition duration in there. And we should be good to go. So let's just save this. Now you can rinse and repeat if we just duplicate this. Let's put it over here actually. Now if you decide you want that stripe the other way, like I've done above, so they're opposites, you can go in there, go to our advanced and the code for the stripe, go down to custom CSS, and the code for our stripe that was in the before here, we can just flip round the skew, so it's -15 degrees. And you've got the skew going the other way. So let's save our changes, make sure this is going to work on the other end. Exit the Visual Builder. And our little gradient and text is going to disappear when we roll over it, and you can still use your lightbox effect or whatever link you might want. So there you go guys, there's how to put a diagonal gradient in front of your image. Nice little hover effect there, really easy to do. And don't forget that CSS will be below the video. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.